Welcome back to the Yonko Podcast. Kat reacts to One Piece Chapter 1044.
Warrior of Liberation.
Warrior of Liberation. And I guess she's taking over. If you saw the last episode, you see this. So we cut to Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 8. Mama's out at sea. Let's start our research.
Ginormous tentacle jugs.
So many opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
There was so many.
I forgot about that.
They could have made that rhyme. They didn't. Lost opportunities. Mama's out at sea. Now let's pee on the germ folk.
What?
I don't know. I could not.
Lost opportunity.
Why?
Why not?
Anyway, we see some bad stuff happening to two of the German brothers.
Niji and Yonji.
You know, is it just me or is Yanji smiling? He
No,
looks like
I think
smiling.
he's angry.
He's gritting his teeth because he's angry.
He's got a freaking nail through his
chest.
Niji looks okay with it. He's like, yeah, all right.
Niji's just accepted
Niji's
his
just-
fate.
yeah.
bro.
I think he's
He's like-
done.
Hey, does my hair look good? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all that matters, man.
I like how a child is involved in this too. Like, yeah,
And it's
I'm
not,
a virgin.
and it's not Charlotte Anana, the one that is like obsessed with knives or
No,
something.
it's Charlotte something.
I don't fucking know. Maybe it is Charlotte Anana.
Do you think this is a grand kid or is this still like a normal kid?
I'm sure this is still just a normal kid.
I mean, Big Mom's weird, but she gets around.
She gets
I mean,
around,
don't
and
get me wrong.
then those who get around with her get gone, except for Pound. He's sticking around.
Sticking around to Pound Town.
You know it. I mean, he's alive.
Let's not talk about Big Mom like this. This is not cool.
All right.
Big Mom did fall into a hole recently.
Young Big Mom is top of the hot popularity, though.
Anyway.
We get into the chapter, a resounding pulse.
What's happening? How can I still stand? Doom, doom, doom. I just lost, but I feel like I'm having a blast.
Momo's looking shivery.
Momo is looking like, what? What is going on? Who is going to be Momo?
Yeah, just be Momo, Brock. Go it.
Okay. Luffy is Joy Boy?
Zunisha said that?
Sorry.
There you go.
Zunisha say what?
What was that?
Zunisha say what? Pleasure Hall, Left Brain Tower. Gah! Gah! Sir Pirate, you're awake! Luffy is live floor.
What the?
Is that Sir Straw Hat?
Straw Hat? Hey, you two. He's still breathing.
Luffy's still alive! You gotta be okay, right? Big bro! We turn now to the holy land of Marie Joie.
We sacrifice... Oh, sorry.
The Hall of Power, Pangea Castle.
We sacrificed one of our best agents and enraged Kaido. Are we sure our priorities are straight?
This may be better than the alternative. It's imperative that we snuff out something this problematic.
No matter the error, the world government has always failed to acquire the Gomu Gomu fruit, even after 800 years of trying.
It's
Okay, sorry.
It's almost as if the fruit itself is evading us.
Well, that's not possible.
Impossible.
Well, that's not impossible.
All Zoan fruits have a will of their own, and this one carries the name of a god. After all, the Gomu Gomu fruit is really a mythical Zoan. It's the human fruit, Model Nika! Its user's body gains the properties of rubber. In combat, they're supposedly only limited by their imagination, putting smiles on faces far and wide. They are the embodiment of the warrior of liberation, Sun God Nika. Awakening exponentially strengthens their rubbery body, and they have even more freedom. It is allegedly, dun dun dun, the most ridiculous power in the world!
Holy goddamn!
Treasure repository, second floor.
Yori, I really admired Odin. Think about what you're doing. It was all Kaido. He was using me. We could still run away together. Just remove these nails and...
You spat in the face of a samurai you owed. Who would still believe you? My father kept his promise. Did he not? He danced like a fool for 5 long years because he thought you and Kaido would honor the secret arrangement you made in Free Wano. He never even told his own family. My father was a man who kept his word. He still expected the same of you when you agreed to let them go if he withstood being boiled for an entire hour, even while his body was being burned by the oil. Despite it all, he always smiled. Always. I can't even fathom my father's suffering. He had to shoulder the burden by himself because the entire nation was your hostage.
What's the matter, Hiyori?
Father, are you really okay with what everyone says about you?
Of course I am. You know why? Because I have you guys.
Really? Then I swear I'll always be here for you.
Oh, yes, I've always said Odin was a great samurai. As Shogun, I can ensure his legacy is recognized. Your father...
Hiyori throws down the mask. Hold your tongue, you miserable wretch! I am Kozuki Hiyori! I was always proud to carry my father's name even when I was starving and covered in rags. You, on the other hand, never had a trace of honor. Every day you were shogun was one too many, and as each day passed, more and more lives were lost.
Wait! Stop! Don't do something you're going to regret. Seeking revenge is a dated ideology, you know. Besides, killing me makes no difference. Kaido will still be unbeatable.
Orochi-sama.
Huh?
I have failed.
Is that you, Kanjuro?
This is as far
Your
as
timing.
I go.
Your timing is impeccable.
Rude.
This is the ideal stage for your real final performance. Burn that woman to ash. Go on, take her. Go. The failed revenge of a shrew. 20 years in the making. It's the perfect title for this tragic comedy. Take a look, Hiyori. A Kozuki survivor should know that fortune favors the mighty.
Orochi-sama.
That's the wrong way to say.
The dawn will come.
Kanjuro, you idiot! Hiyori, save me! It burns!
The Kozuki clan always keeps its promises.
Doom da da da. Doom da da da.
I feel like anything's possible now. I can keep fighting a bit longer. My heartbeat sounds funny. This is my peak. This is Gear 5th.
Crackle, crackle.
Just a bunch of chaos on the live floor.
As Kaido circles around above.
Ah!
Hey, you
Bunch
guys!
of people.
I knew you were doing that.
Bunch of people fall over from Conqueror's Hockey from the roof.
Hey, you guys! What the hell is that? It's on the roof.
Crackle, crackle.
Crackle, crackle. Hey, what's happening?
Conqueror's Hockey?
Where's it coming from?
And all of a sudden, a giant hand comes crashing through the roof, grabs around Kaido's midsection.
Wait, what?
Grab. Law and Kid and Chopper all react. Straw Hat? That's Luffy. Anybody gonna say Chopper's line at all?
Where's this at?
Right
Back
here.
up to the top.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Luffy!
Luffy smiles as he starts yoinking Kaido, his eyes popping out of his head.
Yoink.
Kaido's son!
Take this! As Luffy starts manhandling Kaido.
Oh god!
Come back,
Crash.
Crash.
Strahd, so you're still alive. I'm grateful. Blast breath!
As Luffy's eyes pop out of his head, and he grabs the ground and pulls it up to block the blast breath back at Kaido. As we see Luffy in Gear 5.
Sorry about that idiot from before. I didn't want to win like that.
Don't sweat it. Now, let's finish it.
The battle reaches its finale. Next issue, cover and color spread. End chapter 1044. What an awesome chapter.
What a game-changing chapter.
Brock, say it with me. I can't wait to
For the
see
animated.
that animated. Okay, fair enough.
Either way, for the anime. Alrighty.
So, Kat, that was a lot.
That was a lot. I love all the tiebacks to the little tidbits throughout.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
Kitty Dude fight Jinbei, and his
Who's who?
yes.
I like Kitty Dude.
Do you understand why I kept pointing out the grin
Yes, I got it
sound
now.
effect?
Model Nika.
I just wanted to see
But-
if you were thinking about it.
No.
Do you
because
remember?
honestly, I forgot about
That's okay.
I've gone through this so fast.
Nope.
But I like when Who's Who bringing up Nika to
And obvious.
Jinbei.
You must
and
know
all
about
that.
it, Jinbei, right? You were a slave. What's about that? What about that warrior of freedom, huh?
I was defending this
But, like-
fruit. It's kind of weird.
But I did call that was the fruit they were talking
Yes,
about.
you did. I will give you that. No matter how much I tried to dissuade you, you were
Yes.
committed to the Gomu Gomu no, or rather, the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika.
Yeah. Initially, when I read this chapter, like that fruit, Luffy was up there, but my main thing was like maybe it's Toki because like she's been gone for 800 years.
Yeah.
It would have avoided them.
And see, that would have made sense as well. To me,
I wasn't like disappointed that it was Luffy because like it
Yeah.
makes sense. He's the title character.
it makes sense story-wise. But the fact that they said it's a Zoan human, and I think Burke would ask me if I thought it could be a Zoan, and I was like, no, absolutely not.
No,
So-
actually, you said
Or-
no. So in our discussions, you say, and this is before she started recording this with us, just for context, guys.
Context.
She did say that of the other two fruit like types, she thought it could be a zone. She leaned very heavily against it being a Logia. Like you still like thought it would lean more Paramecia, but like you thought zone was more likely than Logia.
I do not remember.
That's
that.
okay. And that was not a conversation we recorded. That was one we actually had a discussion
Oh, that's
about,
right. That
so.
our actual discussion.
Yes.
But it just interesting to me that it's a human fruit, but he gets rubber properties.
Mm-hmm.
That how is rubber even remotely related to being human?
Well, I think it's the form that Sun God Nika takes.
Maybe.
I think it's a humanoid form.
Because that's the thing is, so like a lot of mythical zone fruits, obviously that we've seen have basis in some real life mythology that we are aware of as ourselves.
True.
However, Nika seems to be an entirely new deity that Oda
A
himself.
One Piece original character, if you would.
Yes.
Okay.
So it seems like Oda made this one up. So obviously, with that being said, Nika can have the properties of.
If I may,
Whatever.
Kat, do you remember that Son Goku has the Buddha mythical zone? Hito Hito
Yep.
no Mi Buddha, and he
Yeah.
is a golden boy,
Yeah.
right?
Golden boy.
Along the same lines, Nika as a god is a rubber boy.
Okay,
right?
that makes sense then. Yeah. But also, awakening exponentially strengthens their rubbery body. Hey, look, I freaking called it.
Indeed.
But he thinks it's just Gear 5.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand that it's awakening.
I think
Yeah.
one of the things we talked about when we weren't recording, but we like read the chapter was so who's gonna tell Luffy that he's not a rubber man, but he's actually this other
he's
whole
gonna have
thing.
to he's gonna need to rename all of his attacks.
No.
The branding's off now, guys.
No.
Fuck.
I think something that I said was I don't think anyone ever tells him.
I don't think so either.
I think it
Even
would
if
be-
they did, I think Luffy would be like, yeah,
fuck
I'm taking
that.
over.
Gomu Gomu better.
I think it would be hilarious along those lines if the entire time people were like, he's got a heat up. They never finish the sentence, and it's just like forever until the end. Like, I had one now.
Yeah.
They find One Piece and like, what do you mean it's not right?
Luffy, let me tell you what you are. I'm gonna punch you. No one tells me who I am. I tell me who I am.
I'm gonna be the pirate king. I'm the freest man on the sea.
No,
Fuck
but Luffy,
you.
you have a paw! No! Don't talk! Also, wanna
It'll
join
be
the-
like that moment back on frickin' Sabati where he just like screams at Usopp and he's just like, I don't want to hear it. Otherwise, I'm ending this adventure now.
So something that gets kind of overshadowed in this chapter because we have a grand revelation of a character we thought we knew since 1996 now has a fruit that none of us had even ventured a thought of. What gets overshadowed though is the entire Orochi and Hiyori kind of
I really
conversation
like
here.
this kind of finish resolution for this.
Yeah.
Just because like
And he always earned it.
Hiyori has absolutely earned it.
She had to deal with his nasty ass grabby hands for who knows how long.
Right?
Yeah.
Payback's a bitch.
Yeah.
And that bitch's name is Hiyori.
And Conjuro.
Hiyori's on a
surprisingly.
Also,
yeah,
Conjuro will never
Conjuro
die.
comes back too.
The fact that Conjuro does come back.
I love that he actually accidentally set him on fire.
I don't know about accidentally.
I don't know. If
At the time of reading this, I was unsure if that was intentional or not. Because I think Conjuro's like, you know what? I'm tired of you, Orochi.
Well, he's basically dead at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he's passing out into Orochi on accident.
Because obviously that's just the remainder of Kazembo, not even Orochi's actual body.
You mean Conjuro's actual body?
No. Kazembo, the flame thing he made.
The thought is that his spirit is still a part of that flame thing they threw.
I know, but you said Orochi, not Conjuro.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
yeah.
no.
But yeah, what remains of Kazembo seems to hold whatever life is left of Conjuro, Kazembo, and that is attempting to help Orochi, or maybe in my other thought is he's just done with the whole thing. He's like, nah.
Well,
nah.
He's like, I'm tired of fighting for you. I'm just gonna kill you, and then we'll both be done.
My thought process, my thought process is that he's in a state of unawareness. I think he sees the person who's been his master for the one who has essentially given him purpose, which is what he was looking for.
Yeah.
I think he was going towards that as kind of like a last source of comfort.
Maybe.
Not really realizing.
Hug me?
Not even that, just like Orochi-sama, something that's familiar to me. This is as far as I go. But I don't think I
gravitate towards that familiar energy.
I think he gravitated.
I am reporting, sir. Also, I'm on your face. You're hot. Jeez.
I don't think he realizes what he's doing to him because he's just about dead.
I really don't even know what Conjuro is at this point. I really don't. I don't think the spirit of Whitebeard when he died could have been in one of his last quakes and shit. It's a very strange ability what Conjuro has here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he somehow put himself into his last and final art piece, and he's burning away. But that leads me to my question, Kat. Do you think this is the end of Orochi here? Is he just gonna burn away into ash?
I wish. I mean, the fact that he has the sea prism nails stuck in him, he can't transform or anything.
Okay.
If he doesn't burn and die, I feel like Hiyori might stay to make sure he's fully dead. And so if he doesn't, if Conjuro's being doesn't finish him off, then I think Hiyori will make sure it happens.
Beat him with the guitar.
That
it's a shamisen.
Beat him with the shamisen.
Whatever.
I think when this chapter came initially, I was a big fan of, you know how there's the two swords, right? And obviously Zoro has one, and we don't see Momo with the other one. I was like, oh shoot, if she has that and that's how she finishes it,
that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. And it saves the guitar.
But also, just I don't remember what happened with that other sword. Did the long-nosed masked dude hold on to it?
I don't remember, actually.
Because I don't, or did he give it to Momo? I don't think he gave it to Momo.
Even though it was Momo's sword. Training with it? ?
No,
I don't think he was.
He was only using a training.
Because obviously Enma is in Zoro's hands.
I think he left it with him.
I want to say
masked dude.
Hitetsu has Ame no
because I think he was going to give it to Momo. I want to say he was going to give it to Momo. Momo's like, I'm not ready for that yet.
Well, and Hiyori wasn't ever supposed to be on Onigashima, if you'll remember.
Yeah, no, I know, and I actually
now that I think about it, I think Hiyori has.
Because it was Enma was supposed to be for Momo, and then Abakira was for Hiyori.
Enma was Hiyori's.
No, initially when Odin gave his swords to his kids, wasn't that the breakdown? Enma was for Momo.
I don't remember that.
No, I think Enma was Hiyori's.
Was it the other way around?
I believe Enma was Hiyori's.
Because otherwise, why would she give away her brother's sword?
Well, because Zoro really impressed her. And
but
she's not going to give away Momo's sword.
Traded it for.
Yes, but she doesn't have. If it's Momo's sword, she doesn't have the right to give it away. So I don't think she would.
Should be hers then.
Yes, I think Enma was hers. She's like, you know what? This is my sword, but I'm going to give it to you if you give back this national treasure. Mm-hmm. And Zoro's like, all right, fine.
All right, dope, bet. Give me that sword.
And I think
No cap. All right.
I think it helps that after, again, whatever his name is, long-nosed masked dude.
Hitetsu.
Yeah. After he explained the significance of the swords and all that, Zoro was way more on board. Like, oh, okay, let's do this then.
Well, I think he was also enraptured with the power of Enma, though. A little.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
I think he's
absolutely.
like, yeah.
Like, it's a challenge.
Who?
he can definitely sense the power in that sword.
Yes.
But no, I think that still does leave Amano Habakiri up in the air at this point, though. Because if Momo does have it, he's not carrying it as a fucking dragon.
Yeah, I don't think Momo
I gotta believe
has
that.
it.
I was doing so well.
What?
Cursing, I have to bleep it. I'll cut this. Continue.
I've been swearing a lot, so sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Yours is so soft, though. Like, mine are, like, clear.
Okay.
Anyway, that leaves that sword up in the air, so maybe she has it, maybe she doesn't.
Yeah.
What else happened?
What else happened, Alex? Oh, I don't know.
So, I think...
Luffy activated...
Sanji comes too.
Sanji came too, yes, that is correct.
I was a fan of that.
But Luffy activated Looney Tunes powers over here.
What'd you think of all that, Kat?
I mean, I thought it was a great comeback.
Let's start with him grabbing Kaido with one hand.
Like, legitimately comes down through the fucking roof.
And
giant
and
hand.
look at Kaido's eyes here, man. Like,
Yeah, no, this is great.
Just like,
Boing.
and I fucking love this scene right here where like Luffy's just like suplexing,
show her the colored versions.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You know what's funny to me, guys, is probably, to date at least, the only other person probably capable of fully grabbing Kaido with a hand is Sengoku with his power, as far as we know.
Maybe.
Luffy's probably the only person with the audacity to go big enough and just grab Kaido with one hand, and he's like...
I love Luffy's fire hair, though.
No, I think the artist did a really good job here. I think the overarching, like, fan thought is that all of his clothes turned white, I think.
The official color is actually supposed to be he is... Besides, like, his skin, I think
like
he's turned white at this point.
But still...
But I do like this fire hair coloring.
100%. And if he's a sun god, it makes sense.
I kind of hope that they keep the fire hair.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, Brock. No one has done Looney Tunes eyes to Kaido ever before. That is something I am sure of.
Oh, absolutely.
Kaido's never looked like this.
Ever.
I just still love that Luffy's also doing his
100%.
But I think this is very, like, on par for Luffy, too.
Oh, yes.
It's
almost as if his fruit was made for him. Like...
Yeah, it really was.
It's like, it's perfect for his personality and
but
his
I
fighting
also
style.
wonder how much of the fruit then has, if this is like the fruit's personality or whatever, how much of that has shaped Luffy since he ate it so young.
That's a very good
So
That's a huge theory.
Here's my personal thing. Now that, since we know that Zoans, they have minds of their own to an
Which
extent.
is what the Gorosei say here.
My personal belief, because this isn't a spoiler because it hasn't been confirmed for anything, is that this fruit, and one of the reasons it's always evaded the world government, is it gravitates towards people of that nature, of the liberator, the fun, the one who brings smiles, the freest man on the sea, which Luffy is a prime example of.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's not so much it shaped his personality, I think it's drawn to his personality because they mesh so well.
And maybe enhanced it as well.
Exactly.
That, like, absolute, total, complete fate that Shanks was able to get it and get it to where Luffy would be able to eat it. Like, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
My headcanon was that Shanks initially went to that island to give that fruit to his captain's son, but then Luffy ate it out of anger randomly, and it just happened that way.
Yeah.
But it makes sense if the fruit's like, oh, I mean, that guy's fine, but this dude really needs to eat me.
Yeah.
And it's like silently calling, you're really hungry, you're really hungry.
Yeah, like that would not...
You eat in anger, he made fun of you, eat me.
Let the hate flow through you.
But I think it speaks to a larger idea, again, unconfirmed, that all of the fruits kind of tend towards someone who does well with them.
Well, specifically Zoe.
We never really see anyone with a fruit that really struggles using it. Not really. Like, if you look at Doflamingo or Kaido, they all seem very well-suited personality-wise for the kind of devastating things they
But
can
here's
do
the thing,
with
actually,
fruits.
though, is like, I mean, and I think that's a very valid thought.
Yeah.
But I completely forgot they actually mentioned this, is that in particular, Zoans, I think because they're based in actual living creatures,
or did live,
they actually have a process, a thought process, or a heart that beats towards a certain type of person. I mean, freaking Kaido is perfect for whatever he has.
100%.
Freaking Jack.
Chopper.
You've seen Jack.
No, king and queen, all of them, yeah.
And I mean, you also, going back to like Water 7 as well, or not Water 7.
Enni's Lobby?
No, it would be Water 7, Enni's Lobby. That giraffe dude.
Kaku loved giraffes
like
before
he got his fruit. Like, they didn't know what fruit he was gonna get.
Nope.
Really, they just knew, hey, we've got this devil fruit for you. And then the is it cheetah dude? Also got.
Lucci. Yeah.
No, Lucci had
Leopard.
his fruit already then.
Wolf.
Yeah,
No, you're talking
Wolf.
about
Khalifa.
Yeah. And Khalifa.
Well, Wolf Dude already had his devil fruit. Khalifa and
Kaku were the ones
Okay,
that ate
specifically just got their fruits when.
But they picked him up so quickly that I absolutely agree that.
She's almost, a Zoan Khalifa, with her whole sheep thing. Sheep bubbles!
But they picked it up so quickly that I definitely agree that,
They definitely
devil
tend
fruits
towards a type.
yes.
Yeah, that they gravitate towards people that would work well.
Because,
with them.
dude, as manipulative as like the Flamingo wanted to be, and the powers that he wanted that he
oh
lost,
my god, yeah.
and then he
Him
got the
using
string
marionette
fruit to
powers.
like literally marry
Yeah.
everyone. Come on, man.
That does.
That's
feel
some
really
That
weird.
makes sense because Mihawk, he doesn't have a fruit, so he's perfect.
Yes, because Haki is also very cool.
Mihawk's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Mihawk's perfect.
Where is this coming from?
That's why he doesn't need a fruit.
Shanks is also perfect.
It's just like Zoro. He doesn't need a fruit either.
Can I point out?
Jumped in.
So, obviously, they're describing model Nika. Its user's body gains the properties of rubber. In combat, they're supposedly only limited by their imagination, putting smiles on faces far and wide. This was a huge thing, specifically me and Ryan gravitated towards this, because Ryan's big thing has always been like, how the hell does Luffy set himself on fire? How does he randomly grow his tooth back on Whole Cake?
He drank milk, remember?
Yeah, but in his imagination,
Yeah.
milk helps you regrow teeth.
Okay, I also do not think that it helps that it works for Brooke.
Well, yeah, but that's because Luffy sees that and he thinks, oh, hey,
That's how milk works.
That's how milk works. So in his imagination, him drinking milk does the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he's like, oh, if I just do this really fast, I can set myself on fire. He believes he can do that, so he can do that.
I think he also thinks like Ace's fire fist was cool and he wants to do it. And then,
Yeah.
And that kind of, every time he does that, we like see like a little flash of Ace, and it's like he believes that Ace is with him, the fire is happening.
Yeah.
It's honestly a really interesting point for this entire Wano arc, because there's a couple of examples we've never seen before where like Queen was like, you can't just turn yourself on fire. Humans don't do that. Are you?
Oh, so that was Sanji.
Yeah, it's like, and then there's the other one too, where it's like, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that.
Kaido and Dofi both
like
point
that's
out
not
in
how
their
rubber
fight,
works.
both point out in their fights with Luffy that's not how rubber works.
Right.
What the fuck? Like,
so it's very much like in that same vein of it shouldn't work, but because he has the fruit that if he believes it, there it is. That in a sense explains it. I don't know what's going on with Sanji, but that's another theme of how that's not.
No, and I mean, at least,
I'm a scientist.
At least with Luffy, you can take it back to basically Doflamingo, and obviously, if you look over the whole series as a whole, you can see those moments where you're also thinking like, that's not how rubber works.
Well, that's a big thing with Luffy too. It's like he believes, and that's why he succeeds. Everyone tells him you can't do that, and he goes,
"Bitch, watch me."
It should be also first. So there's also always there's people who have problems with the fact that belief is his power, and that like he'll be unstoppable. What I like, what I think is kind of a sign of Oda saying, but there's things to be learned about this fruit, is noticing the Gorosei's talks. They're actually literally it's full of supposedlys and allegedlys. This is a fruit we've never actually have seen.
We still need to figure this shit out.
So I like that he's left that open for possible but this is what needs to happen for this to happen, or it's focused around the rubber body of him, because the purpose of him isn't destruction. The purpose of him is liberation and making people smile, which comes, I think, from the cartoony and rubbery body he has. And Luffy, how he even put... And I also... I had kind of like a heartwarm moment when I was thinking back on like all these moments in One Piece, knowing this fruit, knowing Luffy's personality, and one of the ones that hit me the most was when he put that smile on Fujitori's face, and he was like, "I wish I hadn't blinded myself
because I want to see what you look.
I want to see what you look. I bet you look kind." And like stuff like that, I'm like, he is.
And you and I talked about this because it's almost its own meta thing too, because Luffy is such a, like, we all love Luffy. We love his exploits. We love his comedy. We love all the things he does.
His speeches.
He puts smiles on our faces, not just the people in the world.
I think Oda
is a very
this.
good writer. Yes.
I think Oda knows this too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's like, I can only imagine too, like, as he developed this power, he was like, wouldn't it be cool if I made a main character who literally made everyone smile? Which is just like, that sounds so like meta in the best way possible.
Yeah.
You know?
If Luffy knew that was his fruit back in Arlong Park, and fucking Genzo, is it?
Yeah.
Genzo with the pinwheel?
Yeah.
And Genzo, obviously, he said his whole thing about, like, go, like, take Nami with you, but don't you ever let her lose her smile. And he's just like, bruh, I'm Nika. I literally can't let her lose her smile.
I am Joy Boy.
I am Joy Boy.
I am the boy who brings joy. And Lucci is Grudge Boy, because he has a grudge bigger than all.
Gonna have a grudge match coming 2024.
On OnlyFans.
On my kids.
Oh, God.
What kind of grudge match is this?
Oh.
Naked sumo.
I'm not going anywhere with that.
So,
Joke's done.
Yeah. Oh, also he grabbed the ground and made it into rubber.
Yeah.
I know, I loved that. Just like the kind of like a blanket, just like
deflecting it back at him. There's freaking like disrespect on Kaido, just smashing him back and forth. Like literally, just Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry vibes going on here, man.
And again, it's so Luffy too.
It's so Luffy.
It's so One Piece.
And that
And One Piece,
and it's just such a nice like change up from how the fight has been, where it's been fully like one of the reasons I can't wait to see it to be animated is we obviously saw. Have you seen episode 1015, the famous 1015?
Yeah,
I watched the one that came out yesterday.
So it's updated.
But like 1015.
1015 was chapter 1000.
Fucking amazing. Now I'm just wondering, if they're gonna do something super crazy with this moment?
They better.
Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
need to.
The person who directed that episode better be directing this one.
I hope. Please, Oda-san.
Well, I mean,
You don't decide, but we hope you do decide for that.
I'm
You
sure
might get to decide.
Come on, Broda. Let's go.
You've really taken that.
I'm going to find that picture I drew.
No, I've been every week I'm asking him. I was like, hey, don't we have a new episode to watch? We got to watch my boy last night. It was so
Yeah, Chopper got his moment.
No, I actually just
Nebulizer.
Sorry, just real quick. I truly, and I think I think Ryan disagreed with this. But what I really liked about what Chopper was like, it wasn't the focus on the Straw Hats as just a bunch of warriors. It was the focus on them as a crew, and Chopper was doing his actual job.
Yes.
For once, it wasn't to fight. It was like, I'm a doctor first and foremost.
Let me do my doctor.
And I also reference back to Whole Cake with Sanji, where he won the end of that by baking.
Yeah.
He's a cook first and foremost. I love that we're getting more of their actual things.
Skills.
There's some people it's hard to do it, like Nami.
I mean, I think they kind of started that in a way with Jinbei.
Yeah.
Like joining the crew, getting them into
being
the green
the
room,
helmsman.
and that like. I think that's really kind of where that started.
And I love that they're like, all right, now we're going to show you what they can do as crewmates, not just as like
fighters.
Yeah. That they have their specific strengths for a reason. Let's showcase them.
Like literally the only people who are just there to fight are Zoro and Luffy.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean,
Zoro's for directions.
Zoro's part navigator. Oh God.
Zoro has a navigator 2023.
He's the secondary navigator after Nami.
Oh jeez.
That would be one hell of an adventure.
That would.
I mean that. Yeah.
He'd accidentally get to the One Piece first.
That would be the only.
He would.
That would be the one place they go.
Anyway.
Stressful.
Any other questions to ask Kat before we end this one and move on to 10:45?
Do you just initial thoughts? Do you really like the turn this fruit has taken?
I do. I think I like how things keep evolving.
Don't die.
This is all cut.
I think we should leave this in.
Please,
Just like
I edit. Why would I leave this in?
breathe in through your
It's
nose.
funny to see you in pain. That's all.
Q. Damn it!
Literally.
I mean, you
Breathe
could have
in through
censored
your
it
nose.
yourself.
I know. I'm fine.
Anyway,
Okay.
What were you saying?
You like how
You like how things keep
I like
evolving.
how-
Before nothing happened.
I like how things keep evolving and just there's different defining moments where like turning points for the characters where they realize like, okay, this is me moving up to the next level.
Mhm.
Like Luffy's had a bunch of them. I think Zoro's with like Enma's gonna be part of Zoro's. And the Conqueror's hockey. Like that is I still believe like Enma is trying to get Zoro to realize, hey, you have Conquerors.
Get him ready.
Get it, like, because I think Enma does have a personality of its own and is like, I want you to be my handler, but you're not where you need to be. Get
good,
with it.
Get good or I'll kill you, is
Yes.
what he's saying.
Can't
And-
remind me where you left Zoro?
I think with the Grim Reaper.
Oh.
I think it's the last thing I remember.
Actually, no, I think Frankie grabbed him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but yes.
but
The Grim Reaper
That
thing
was the last thing.
like that's really the last thing,
Okay.
and that to me is that a manifestation of like Enma's whatever like personality or spirit saying, yo, freaking figure it out. You've had multiple people bring up
Figure it out.
Conquerors
Well, and
to
also,
you.
just so you know, do you know
But-
do you know who Enma is? Enma is the king of the underworld. That's the name
Yes.
of the
Yes, I do remember that.
Yes.
That-
So it's super cool how that might like line
Yes.
up there.
Yeah.
And the Reaper is Brooke.
Anyway, like that's gonna be Zoro's like turning point where he levels up basically.
Mhm.
I think this is another one for Luffy where he's gonna level up, become better for this.
He has to in order to beat it.
I mean, he has to, yeah. But I think this is going to lead into a whole lot of more, I think, lore, background, history stuff as well.
I mean, this
I mean,
fruit
yeah.
is central. Now that we know its identity, it's central to the history.
Yeah.
The true
Yes.
history.
And I think that because Luffy and Momo can communicate with Zunisha was there for the first time around.
Mhm.
Robin and Law knowing the history and that knowing kind of what to ask, what to look for.
Mhm.
Now, whether they all kind of realize their roles and get it together
Yeah.
to figure it out, I think there's just One Piece storytelling logic. It's gonna take a little while before they all get on the same page and realize how to make this work.
There's also the matter of how well known is Nika, the sun god himself.
Yes.
You know, like how well known is that character, and then as
Who knows
extension, how well known
Yeah.
is this devil fruit?
He's like, Nika's my home.
Which I wonder if who's who was bringing that up because he knew that Luffy's fruit was tied to.
I mean,
Nika.
he knew that he had to guard it. As far as I know, he didn't.
Or if whoever told him the story
'cause
of Nika knew.
Yeah, because
the
he
true
heard
nature of
he
the devil
heard
fruit.
Nika from a guard that was talking about with
Yes.
prisoners,
And then
but
that
he
guard
knew that his
disappeared.
and then he had an assignment on the ship with a fruit that Shanks stole. Like I don't think he knew they were connected, but it's funny how the two things he's talking about are literally the same thing.
And so maybe he hasn't put it together, but that guard did know.
Maybe Jinbei put it
something.
together. Maybe that's why he was so quiet. He's like, oh.
Maybe.
Maybe
It's possible.
Jinbei's put something together.
I personally
but
doubt it, but it's possible.
Yeah, he's just a
Yeah.
helmsman. What would he know?
Okay, well.
He's just a
Jinbei
fish
is a
man.
bad-
You're
Okay,
racist.
that's not
You're
where I
right.
was going with any of that.
Last thing I had for did you have more, Kat?
Just my
Yes.
related to my ship of I think it's interesting with Jinbei seeming to possibly know something about Nika and all that,
Yeah.
and then Robin wanting to learn more. Like those two I ship so hard. That like just more reasons in my mind that they are great together. Anyway,
Last thing I will
You
ask
think Robin's going after the silver fox, huh? The silver fox chaser? Silver fox is a term for like an elderly gentleman who's still quite handsome
I
for his
thought-
age.
Can you tell he's
I-
turning 30?
I thought he was, making a Foxy reference before the end of the episode.
Yeah, no.
Last thing I will ask you, and I would like you to involve yourself in some power scaling with me, if you wouldn't mind. Do you know what that is?
No.
Basically seeing which characters are stronger
Zoro's
than
stronger
other ones.
than Sanji.
Yes.
But not that. We're not going to go there. Do you think it shut your mouth with your eyes?
What?
He's talking with his
my
eyes.
mouth with my
So,
eyes.
do you think now that Luffy has initiated Gear 5 or his awakening, do you think this is now an easier battle for him, or do you think there's still going to be quite a bit of back and forth with Kaido?
I think for storytelling's sake, there's going to be a bit of back and forth still, but also knowing that we are, 12 chapters away from
where
you guys were, and I've heard that that's basically like things are done.
We're actually 9 chapters away from where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are on 1053.
I can't math. For some reason, I thought 44 plus 12 was 53.
Sounds fair to me.
Anyway,
I just assumed you didn't remember which chapter we were on. So
no,
it's okay.
I was actually thinking 52, and so yeah,
No,
I was
you're
like
good.
10 is 54 and add 2. Yeah, my brain is not working. Anyway, knowing that there's only a handful of chapters left, it might go quicker, but I think there's still going to be some back and forth.
And so Luffy's gonna have. So there's 2 examples. I want pick one of them that you're closer to. So when Luffy went Gear 4 against Dofi, basically at that point Dofi had no chance if he was in Gear 4. He was done. Versus when he fought Lucci, and it was literally all and everything, and Lucci, like, he was able to stay pretty much standing till the end until he fell into that very last attack. Like, is it an easy win now that he's in this gear? Or is it like everything he's got and he is also fainting?
No, I think it will be a easier win. Because also Kaido's it's going to be more like Dofi, yeah. But because also Kaido has been going so hard already.
Against
and he's taken
everybody.
Everyone. He's taken a ton of damage. Plus, he's also trying to float Onigashima over to the flower capital. That I think...
You'll all float too. You'll all float too.
You'll all float too.
Momo, he's gonna weaken those clouds are going to, I don't think they're gonna be pulling towards the flower capital as much. So Momo will hopefully be able to move it a bit and will recognize that as soon as Luffy beats Kaido, this island's going down, so I need to be able to like make a net of clouds and just like catch the island and then slowly set it down or something. Or then move it.
So you're not a believer in the Onigashima theory of Burke's favorite origin.
No, I am not. Because even if that were to happen, like, that would still crush it.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Isn't it turning the island into rubber?
Yeah, it's my favorite theory of that.
No, because that would still crush everyone.
No. And that theory went out the window, like, right before this happened.
But then he awakened and made rubber, and now it's like,
don't get me
it's
wrong,
back
it's
on.
possible.
No,
But
because
I'm not holding on to that.
No, because that would still squish everyone under them.
Yeah.
Unless
So-
it bounced on the mountain first. The
But
really
they're
tall
not
mountain, you know?
But the mountain's
Yeah.
behind. From where
It's a big old island. Boing.
And see, my other one was, why is Momo trying to pull, like, the clouds are trying to pull Onigashima towards the flower capital. Why is Momo trying to pull against? He should just pull, no, I'm saying pull with it and pull it past the flower capital.
Because
Just
Kaido's
keep going.
busy.
Kaido's busy. He doesn't know when they're passing over the flower capital. He's
Wait
just
a
like,
minute. How do we end up in Ringo? What the fuck?
and nobody's in Ringo anyway, so it's fine.
Everybody's dead in Ringo. It's a graveyard.
What are we
Yeah,
doing in the
let's
East
massacre that sacred graveyard site.
Just go all the way to the East
All the
Blue.
swords are gone anyway.
True, we stole all those as well.
Maybe Onimaru gets crushed, but you know.
Onimaru's like, oh no, as Gyukimaru. Not the bridge! Cool.
Oh gosh, I feel like I had one other thing to ask you. Oh, if Kaido goes down soon, how many chapters more?
Knowing we have 9 left, I would say...
Are you saying like of Wano or like a fight or...
Until we're caught up.
Until
From what I've been told.
Kaido goes down, if he goes down.
Okay, so how many till Kaido goes down?
Yes, because she accurately predicted actually in 10:30 that Big Mom would be down in 10 chapters.
Within 10
She
chapters,
did go
but
down.
it was only going to be...
She accurately predicted
Yeah,
that
she went down really far.
when we were reading.
Like deeper.
I also
Shut up.
accurately...
Deeper.
I also accurately predicted that within those 10 chapters, it was really only going to be 3 or 4 chapters worth of fighting. And it was.
Well.
So, knowing from what Burke has told me that where you guys are at, things are pretty well wrapping up. To me, that means...
Did I say that? I don't know.
Yes, you did.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I
wouldn't say wrapping up is a good way to describe it at all.
At least the fighting portion of it. That it's on the, decline. I would say maybe within the next 6 chapters. If Kaido's gonna go down.
10:50.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay.
Cool.
Any other follow-ups?
Thanks for joining us.
If you all can even still see us.
I just want to say...
I'm going to turn the brightness way up on this.
I just want to say to all of you, I appreciate you for watching, and Foxy for the win.
Oh, you. It was so sweet until that.
We'll catch y'all in chapter 1045. Coming soon. Bye!
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 I just wanted that in there. Okay, go get... Cool, this is...